To understand what a troll is, we need to first take a look at its origins in Scandinavia. And to do that, we need to look at Norse mythology. There are what's called the Norse or Icelandic sagas. And these are just stories written in Old Norse, epic works compiled during the medieval age. One of the first mention of trolls is found in the Prose Edda, written at the end of the Viking Age. It is filled with stories of giants, elves, dwarves, gods, and warriors. Now, these early 13th, 14th century writings, the term troll is somewhat undefined. It is not really made clear as to what type of creature is being described. In Snorri Sturluson's Prose Edda, there is the story of Bragi Boddason, or Bragi the Old, and how traveling through the forest one late evening encountered a trollkona. And there is an exchange of poetry between Bragi and the female troll. She says, "They call me troll, gnawer of the moon, giant of the gale blast, curse of the rain hall, companion of the Sibyl, night roaming hag, swallower of the loaf of heaven." What is a troll but that? Well, we don't know. But there is a reference to a wolf in the poem, The Sibyl's Prophecy, Voluspa. So what we could have here is a description of a giant wolf. Most of us tend to think of trolls being humanoid, but according to medieval sources, a troll could come in the form of an animal, like a wolf or hog, but not your typical animal. They are considered to be trollish in appearance by their giant size, and sometimes the word troll is meant to imply demonic possession or hybrid creature, a product of what was believed to have been magic. Now, the idea of a troll really did not solidify until the 18th, 19th centuries into the troll most people are familiar with today. But in Norse mythology, a troll can be a witch, a mountain dweller, a ghost, a ghoul, a magician even. The factors that make up a troll are apparently size, ugliness, and magical powers. But they weren't confined to the forests and mountains. They walked among us. It was the actions that defined the troll, or trollish behavior. In Norse mythology, zombies, or the undead, fall into the category of trolls as well. It is between the 14th and 19th centuries where there are stories of the giant, ugly, ogre-like trolls we all know and love. And after that, once the stories had spread out throughout post-medieval Scandinavia, we get the smaller, less aggressive mini-trolls. Now, Scandinavia is a composition of the three kingdoms of Denmark, Sweden, and Norway. Finland, Iceland, the Faroe Islands, and Åland Islands would also be considered part of the Nordic countries. Across this region, the landscape varies. You have the Baltic and North Seas. Denmark is mostly farmland and old settlements, so it is consistent with flat lowlands. As you come around and into Sweden, you have changes in elevation. Some mountains, and it is covered with thick forest. There are the Scandinavian mountains running from southern Norway all the way up past northern Norway. Parts of Norway are also covered in pine tree forest, as well as Finland. Then out past the Norwegian Sea, there is Iceland, which is absolutely volcanic and Arctic. In Norway, there is a 34-mile road called Trollstigen, or the Trolls Road. There is the Troll Wall, Trollveggen, the highest vertical mountain in Europe, which is part of Troll Peaks. There is the Trolltunga, Jotunheimen, home of the Giants National Park, which is located in southern Norway as one of the country's hiking and fishing regions. So you can see, for example, how embedded this is into the history of the land and culture. Trolls come in several types, of course. The common forest and mountain troll, the man-eaters like the ones in The Lord of the Rings, a giant numbskull, brutal and violent. There are cave trolls, which live completely underground and are usually the smaller trolls. There are also not nice trolls. They use trickery and deception. The Jotnar are the ugly giants that turn into stone in the sunlight or explode. Sometimes they have tusks or are a cyclops. They live in the mountains and only come out at night to feed on humans and or cause destruction. There are sea trolls, the Huldra. Now the Huldra is another mythical female troll and can enchant you with her singing. You have Huldra folk. They're just good-looking blondes with long tails. The female of the species, the Huldra, is a hot blonde that ensnares men under spell to keep them as mates or pets. Sometimes for years and years. Once they are released or escaped, they have no memory of what happened or when. You have the round hippopotamus-looking trolls called Moomins, which are supposed to be the good, friendly trolls. And the list goes on. Now, we've seen tales of giants all over the world. I mean, literally all over the world. There's nobody saying, oh, no giants ever lived here, or no stories of giants over here. If you want to be the descendant of an ancient great kingdom, your story has a giant in it. Today, any stories of troll sightings would be considered a paranormal experience, and the troll would be considered a cryptoid. Think about this. People cite Bigfoot all over the world. What do you call a Bigfoot in Norway? Would the snowman or yeti be considered a type of troll? Evasive, hidden?
Boil 'em, says I.
Each to his own, boys. There's plenty for all. I likes mine raw.
Would the snowman or yeti be considered a type of troll? Evasive, hidden, ugly, hairy, monstrous? Now, I can't talk about trolls without mentioning the movie Troll Hunter. One of the things I appreciate about this film is that it really gives you a feeling of realism, where you wonder if what you are seeing is actual found footage, or of course we all know that it is just a movie, but it does capture the imagination. And you'll hear the term Jotnar in this movie, giants of great strength in Norse mythology. But let me tell you where Jotnar comes from. In Norse creation myth, there is a hermaphroditic giant, the first being, named Ymir, which has three meanings: twin, hermaphrodite, and screamer. Now you have Muspelheim, the world of fire and heat, and then you have Niflheim, the world of fog and the land of darkness, mist, cold, and ice. I'll say that again. You have Muspelheim and you have Niflheim. No, I didn't say Nephilim, I said Niflheim. And fire and ice from both worlds met, giving birth to Ymir from the bottomless abyss that separated them. The same abyss into which everything will collapse at the time of Ragnarok. Trolls, the Jotnar, giants, come from the land of Niflheim. Keep in mind, Niflheim is a Germanic word. Nephilim is a Hebrew word, both having something to do with giants. That is not a coincidence, folks. These giants were mountain-sized, turning into stone when hit with sunlight, so they could not move around the country during the day, only at night, or within a very thick fog. So, today there are theorists who suggest that Norway is in fact hiding the fact that they do in fact have trolls. And some believe that Finnmark is home to a particular group of giant trolls. One of the reasons for this speculation is that during the Cold War, Norway restricted access to NATO for that region, which doesn't mean that they are hiding giants, but could be most definitely protecting or hiding something. Now, this region borders Russia, and it is believed that they know what's going on and have made efforts to keep these trolls confined to that area and from crossing the border, with a high military presence surrounding it. Huge power lines set up as electric fences to keep the giants in. If you take a look around at the coastlines and open areas, the valleys, you may come across many stones that represent or even look like petrified giants. I have so much more information on this topic and we will cover it, but I just thought I would give you something to chew on for a bit, and something very interesting to look into, such as Finnmark. Go take a look.
The sun blasted! How did the morning come so soon?
We're done for.
Excellent.